Welcome back to Raving and Reviewing. My name is R, and this is my co-host V.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We're finally back reviewing a new Marvel series, What If?
Yeah, it's been a while since any new Marvel stuff's come out since Loki, so we kind of just took a break with it,
Yeah,
but now we're excited.
I think we got a bunch of stuff that we
Yeah,
can review.
yeah, we over the last few weeks when we weren't recording, just saw a bunch of stuff back to back, so we could start talking about everything we've been watching and review that.
Yeah, I think we definitely make a lot of different reviews, analyses.
Yeah, I don't think we gotta just focus on Marvel, right?
No, no.
I'm not saying DC,
We can review
maybe.
Suicide Squad.
We did
The
see it.
Suicide Squad.
We did see it reluctantly. No, actually, I was
We were
excited to see
excited
it.
to see it,
Yeah,
but I was tired and fell asleep.
you did fall asleep. You weren't tired.
I was tired.
You weren't tired.
I was
You had a
interested.
couple. You had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, that too.
No, but I did. I was awake and it was pretty good. I mean, it's probably one of the better DC movies.
Was
It's
it
no
better than
Guardians.
episode 1 of What If?
Oh, that's interesting because I wasn't. I don't think this was a bad episode, but
It's
it
a
wasn't.
starter. It's a starter
Yeah,
episode.
it's a starter episode. Yeah, I would say maybe like hand in hand. Maybe Suicide Squad was a little bit better, but only
Okay,
because it's
let's.
a movie. It's longer. It had more jokes.
No, I know. Yeah. No, that one had a lot of jokes. This is
Yeah.
serious, so this is the first episode. What if Captain Carter were the first Avenger?
Yes.
And same, I think that it was an okay episode. I don't think
No.
anything stand out.
No, not
And
really.
I think that if it wasn't part of the MCU as a whole, I think this would have been like nobody was gonna watch this show
No,
after this
no,
episode.
I
No
don't.
one would
I don't
care.
think so.
But
No.
since it's tied to the MCU, it's like it's got a lot of, I guess, like support from having voice actors that are like the real live action characters and
Yeah.
having what just happened in Loki relate to this of the multiverse is broken, and
Yeah.
we're excited to see what other stories are out there. And I think,
Yeah. I think because this episode was kind of focused on Carter and we
mhm,
really haven't seen Carter much in the MCU the last couple of big movies, right? Like she was
no,
obvious she was in Endgame, I know, but it was like I feel like it was more like a cameo rather than like she was there literally just for Steve Rogers. There wasn't anything to her character that got added.
yeah, I mean,
Um
she was she in Endgame? She's
she was
dancing, I
in
guess.
Endgame.
Yeah,
They dance at the end and then remember he sees her when he goes back to get the
yeah.
right. So yeah, I didn't really get attached to her character. I also it was weird because the voice acting, especially for Steve Rogers and Captain America, like
Hmm.
I was trying not to think about who it was, but I just kept concentrating on finding out whose voice that, like, if like it sounded like Chris Evans or not. So I just kept getting distracted by that. I
It
wish
did.
they
I think
just
it sound. He
got.
did a good job
He
imitating
did
Chris
do a good
Evans.
job. He did do a good job, but it was so distracting because then
I
I
was
just kept
trying to
looking
figure
for
out like,
everyone
yeah,
else. I'm like, oh, is that their voice? No, that's not their voice.
yeah.
Like, like who was one of the I was thinking about this today when I was rewatching Bucky. Bucky did
Bucky
not
was
sound like
horrible.
Bucky too,
Bucky was
right? Okay,
horrible.
I thought I was the only one who thought
Bucky
no, not good.
did
Did
that.
not sound like
Did
Bucky.
not read the script and kind of like that was the first time reading his lines.
Yeah, yeah. Was that him? Was that
Yeah, that's
Sebastian Stan?
actually
It didn't
Sebastian
sound like
Stan.
him. I'm like, oh my god, this sounds so
I was like, maybe he's trying
awkward.
to sound like how he sounded in the first movie.
Maybe,
He's not like
maybe.
all dark and sinister.
Yeah, it didn't sound good. It sounded like you said, he might have just gotten the script in the booth that day when he was doing his recording. It sounded horrible.
Yeah, I mean, even the end when they only have like literally one sentence, but
Yeah.
Nick Fury and Hawkeye have like that line, and I'm like, that sounds pretty terrible.
Was that not them either?
No, that was actually them too, like Samuel
See,
Jackson
I
and
can't tell.
Jeremy
I feel
Renner.
like the voice actors that weren't really the actors themselves, like
Hmm.
the new people that they got, did a better job than the people that have been. Well, except Captain Carter, like she was pretty convincing.
Yeah, I mean the Captain Carter, you were saying like you haven't been invested lately, but she did have
Yeah.
her own show with 2 seasons, and
Oh,
I thought
that's
that was
right.
actually really good.
Yes, you did say you liked it. actually
I
never got
don't
around to watching
remember
it.
much of season 2, and I feel
Mhm.
like maybe I didn't even see it, but season 1 I
Mhm.
remember really enjoying.
Right, right, right. Okay, so
So
maybe
it's
if
on Disney Plus. I would go back and watch
go back
that
and watch
kind
it,
of
it's
like as an
worth a
eight
watch.
episode.
Would you
Yeah,
rewatch it with me?
I would watch it. Yeah, definitely.
All right. We got
Especially
that,
if
and we
that.
got Better Call Saul. That we got. I'm gonna try to watch that one for sure
Have you
because I've heard
progressed
good
or
things
no?
about it.
Still episode 1.
No, I still am on episode one. I did enjoy what I watched, but I fell asleep watching it because I was so tired, and it was not a
Okay.
couple of
No, it's
drinks
it's a
in.
slow
I was
show. It's
legit
slow
tired.
paced, so it's hard to watch at night. It's like
Yeah.
you watch it earlier in the day,
Okay.
and you
All
can't
right.
have your phone there. You kind of have to like pay attention to the details of what he's doing, and
Okay.
he's sneaking around a lot. He's doing up a lot of shady things. So
All right. Okay. So that's definitely going to be in my backlog of things to watch. But I'll put on
it's not a
Agent
great
Carter,
gym
right?
show like a treadmill show or something. You feel
Agent
like you're
Carter.
walk. No, no, the Better Call Saul.
Okay.
If you walk on the treadmill watching Better Call Saul, you're gonna be like, I
We
feel
gotta
like I've been
stop.
walking for like 3 hours.
Oh my god, it's a long show.
Yeah, it doesn't go by quick.
Slow pace. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. What about Captain Carter or Agent Carter rather? No,
I don't
Captain Carter.
remember. I think it's
Yeah. All right.
actually you may not enjoy it since you don't like the first Captain America movie.
I didn't like it. But although I did kind of regret not watching because I watched it years ago when I wasn't really watching any of the Marvel stuff. At that point, I had only seen like I think the Iron Man movies.
Yeah,
Was it the first one? Yeah, the
you've
first
probably
one came
seen
out, right?
both Iron Mans and
Yeah,
Avengers.
both are, and I liked both of them, but I didn't enjoy the first Captain America. So
I mean, I could see
I could
that.
give it a
I
go.
could say like the first Captain America, Thor 2, and
Yeah,
Captain Marvel all fall into that like first movies, early movie
lull.
kind of like
Yeah,
lull. They
I did
haven't built the
finally
character
see
yet.
the first Thor movie. I did enjoy that. It was
That
pretty
one is
good.
good. I do enjoy that one a
Yeah,
lot. I saw
that
it
was pretty good.
maybe twice in theaters actually, maybe once.
Really,
Free
yeah,
movie
that's a good one.
Tuesdays back
I'm
in the
excited
day.
for Thor to come. I mean, the animation for Thor. My God, did they mess him up when I saw it in the trailer? I'm like, what did they do to my man? He does not look good, and
He
I
looks
know
fat.
Thor looks
I mean,
good
I
in
guess he
real.
is fat.
He's fat Thor. They brought that back.
No, he doesn't have his beard. That's why maybe.
Yeah, yeah. What'd you think of like the actual story and like kind of the villains in this particular episode? Because I remember watching. I have two questions. One is, what did you think about the villains, and then what did you think about like Captain America, like our Captain America, his role in the episode?
Um, the villain.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same. I mean, I think
we've seen
seeing
this guy
Red
before,
Skull
right?
again is
Yeah,
great. I think
yeah,
that we had such a long tail of like 2011. We saw
yeah,
Red Skull vanish into the like where the space stone,
yeah,
and then now in whatever 2019 Endgame comes out, and you see, or I guess 2018, you saw an Endgame or Infinity
yeah.
War that like he's here on Vormir, and that was such a cool reveal
Right,
back in the day.
right.
And then now like you're seeing him again.
Reusing
I mean,
him,
it's
yeah.
it's a recasted actor. It's like they
It's not the
recasted
same
him in
guy, yeah. Which
Infinity
is
War.
insane, right? Because he voiced it.
I mean, they recasted the original actor in
Oh,
Infinity
like when he
War.
first showed up.
When he showed up again, they
Yeah, yeah, okay,
chose a
okay.
different person. Which I
Gotcha,
mean, you
gotcha.
don't see his face, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's like his real face was ripped off, so it doesn't matter.
right.
Um, no, I like Red Skull. I think he's
Yeah.
a cool villain. He
I,
didn't
I
really
did like the
have a
reveal when
chance.
he ripped his face off, and I was like, oh, that was cool. I didn't, I wasn't really expecting like that particular villain, but I guess I kind of assumed
Yeah.
it is more connected to like Captain America, right? The guy.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's like his main villain, the main
Yeah,
Hydra, leader of Hydra.
right.
Um, I did
Speak.
like that portal they brought in to
Mhm.
bring in the
The monster.
tentacle monster,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's weird because Hydra is a many-headed dragon. What is this tentacle monster? That's not a Hydra, is it? It's not a many-armed
That's
monster.
that, that is true. They're like, who ordered the calamari? I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and it's strange because it's like I just saw the same thing in Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's like a dragon. It's like a yeah, it's like more than like three, four heads of a dragon almost.
It's like a sea dragon,
Yeah, I
sea
guess
serpent.
sea dragon, so it makes sense, kind of.
And like their Hydra saying is cut one head off, another will shall appear in its
Goro,
place.
yeah,
But and then I
gotcha.
looked at the Marvel, like the Hydra logo in like Marvel sense, it's one skull with many tentacle arms, so maybe they're
Oh,
using it as a tentacle kind of
yeah.
monster instead of a serpent monster.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Like the logo does kind of look like that was in the show too. This logo.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's interesting. I would have preferred to see a
Yeah.
dragon with many heads than
Oh, yeah.
whatever this
Agreed.
was.
You didn't even really see the monster, right? You
No,
just
you just
kind of
saw the
saw like,
bottom of it,
uh, yeah, and then
half of
she
it.
blew it up at the end. Yeah, it's a little odd. Wasn't
But
a
I
full
thought that was a
fledged.
cool kind of moment. Like that would have been a really big budget thing if they had to CGI that
Yeah,
in real life.
yeah. I know. I think they're just trying to get something out there at this point. What about? I was gonna say Chris Evans, but he's not in this. Captain America's kind of arc in this.
You know what he reminds me of?
Who?
If the Home Alone kid grew up and didn't look like a drug addict, this is what he'd look like.
Like a clean shaven version of Macaulay Culkin.
Exactly. Yes. Does it
I could
not?
see that. He's skinny enough. That guy is
Yeah.
so tiny.
It's like that's what he would look like if he was proper. If
Oh
he never
yeah,
met Michael
easily.
Jackson.
It's Michael Jackson's fault. Where are we
No.
going? No, but
No, I
I
don't think
do.
that.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
No, but I liked it. I think that's interesting to see that Howard Stark would build a Mark One Iron Man suit that's powered by the Tesseract, which is
Yeah, what did
kind of
they
cool.
call it?
Like
The Hydra Destroyer,
the
Hydra
Hydra
Stopper,
Stomper.
Stomper.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a cool, unique idea.
You know what that
And
reminded me of?
what?
The Iron Giant.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
when
I
he
can see
first
that.
comes up, he looks exactly like the Iron Giant.
I mean, it looks like the Iron Man one cost, like when he builds the suit in the cave.
All right, I'm gonna.
It's
Oh
the
yeah,
meme.
yeah, it does too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. See, Iron Giant comes up right away. Just saying, it kind of looked like that. They ripped it off.
I don't know. I think Iron Man might have came first.
Really? Oh, maybe.
No,
You're
I
right.
think they're both pretty old.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching the Iron Giant as a little kid. So
No, so Captain Carter, what did you think of her as like Captain America or British Captain America? I didn't know she
nah.
was British, honestly. I didn't remember that plot line.
What? That's
I
crazy.
did
No,
not
I
remember that whatsoever.
I
She
just
should have a
remember her being British. She has an accent in the movie. I
it's
know. I
very
watched it
it's
a
very
while ago.
very rare. I mean very little.
Very faint. Yeah, she's not really in the movies that much, to be
Is she
honest with
British in
you.
real life? I don't think so.
Yeah, she is.
She is. Okay.
Yeah, the actress is. Yeah. Um. Oh,
Okay, yeah,
maybe
she's
is it
British.
British
Born
and
in London.
American? Yeah,
Born in
born
London,
in
yeah.
London. Yeah, I saw American actress, but I guess she's now both. Um, I thought it was good enough. Like, anytime the problem with it, anytime they do like a female hero, they just kind of make it about feminism. And I'm not complaining. I get that that's kind of what they got to do, right? But
Hmm.
I just wish they kind of toned it down. Like you showed me the clip before we started recording of like in the first Captain America where they asked her to go sit in the booth. It really was just like something that he's asking her to do, right? He was just like,
Yeah.
it wasn't ill intent. He was just like, hey, like, maybe you'll be more comfortable sitting in the booth. And here they kind of played it as it was a sexist thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I,
And
I
I
mean,
was just
this
like,
whole episode had a bunch of those
yeah, like kind
moments
of the
where, like,
like,
when she
yeah,
goes to rescue Bucky, pretty much, and they're like, when did women learn to fight like this?
yeah. And he's like,
She's
oh,
like,
oh,
oh,
today, I
today.
guess today,
And
yeah,
then, like, the same thing, this new character, like, the somewhat villain, I guess, of the leader of this American soldier group. I don't know what his name is.
uh-huh.
And
The
he's
kind
being
of
a
like the
sexist
cap
towards her, like, oh, we
lieutenant,
wasted all
yeah.
these millions of dollars
On
on
a
a woman.
woman, yeah,
And she's like, you'll never fight, and maybe your blood will one day will make a real super soldier.
right,
And
right.
kind of like, I guess learning from Falcon Winter Soldier, like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe their own Isaiah Bradley would happen,
Yeah.
or
But I mean, I guess
something
back
the
in like
Hulk,
the 19 whatevers, right? Like
like
that's
50s,
probably,
40s.
yeah, like women were probably treated that way.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
it's getting too much now because they did it with Black Widow.
hmm
That was a little less in Black Widow, though, I have to say. They
no,
did
definitely
it.
less. Yeah.
They did it kind of with Wonder Woman too, which I know is DC, but it's just like female. I'm generally talking about female superhero movies. It definitely did with Captain Marvel, and it's just like as a girl going to see these movies, it's just like I don't want, just stop talking about this. Like just show me her as a character. Um, yeah, of course, some of these things you have to talk about, but some of it is just so like pandery to me. It's just like I'd rather focus on the story and
hmm
her strength
Yeah,
rather
I
than
can see
how
that.
she's kind of beating like sexist people down because it's just not interesting to me. Like,
I mean, that's like the Marvel one character that actually stands out is the
yeah.
Dora Milaje, the main
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
And
God, there's
that's
she's
like top tier.
bad
Like she's a
ass,
badass.
and there's no kind of conversation around like someone being sexist to her. It's
hmm
just she just carries herself as like the strong like sounding ironic, strong, independent woman, right? Like she's just very, she has a job to do. She gets it done. There's no other conversation, and that's so refreshing and fun to watch. And like
hmm
and it's not like they forget her like femininity, right? Like in that one scene in Black Panther when she has a wig on, and she kind of
Yeah,
uses that as a way to
yeah, yeah.
distract. Like that was so good. It was funny and it was done so well. So I do agree with you. I think she's one of the better characters. They should kind of work their other female characters sort of like her. Like they're not doing something amazing just because they're women. They're doing something amazing because they want to be heroes, just like every other male hero.
I
So
think Robin
let's
Scherbatsky also does a great job as Maria
agreed,
Hill.
agreed.
She's
Right,
very little in the overall
right.
MCU,
But
but she
you
does
you
a great
you
job.
get to see her intelligence. You get to see her importance. Right, like
hmm
you notice when she's there and you notice when she's not. So I do agree. She's good. Yeah, they got to tame it down just a little bit because we get it. They're
Yeah.
badass women. We want to see more of it, right?
hmm
Let's tone it down on the whole sexist stuff now. It's getting a little overplayed.
I did like her with the sword and fighting the thing. I thought that animation looked good. I think at least a
Yeah.
bit.
Yes, I don't.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it
do
looked
agree.
cool with her with the sword because you never see Captain America with a sword and
Yeah,
shield.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
That
I
did
don't
look
think the
good.
animation was bad the whole episode. I think there's just certain. It's like I was telling you. There's like this weird yellow hue in
I mean, it's
every
intentional.
scene. I know it is, but it's so super distracting. It's like getting to me. I was because when I first saw the trailer, maybe it's just for this episode. They did it for
It
like
is just for this episode to
okay,
look like olden times.
old times. Yeah, I figured it was something like that, and I hope they don't do it because in the trailer the animation actually looked pretty decent. I was excited because I was like, for a TV show, I think this will look okay. But yeah, I was a little disappointed with the animation in this episode. I'm hoping it gets a little bit better once they kind of move past this period.
Yeah, I think it's just that the weird part about it is they're using 3D
Yeah.
models in like mostly 2D flat painted backgrounds. And
It's kind of like a
something I
mixture of
noticed
both,
was
right?
like the credit scenes, the backgrounds are gorgeous, like
Mm-hmm.
paintings,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so well done. Like I usually tune out the credits when it's like these live action shows, but this one I was like, oh
You
fuck, these are
watched.
good. I did watch the whole thing. I was like, at least the second time, I was like, these all settings look really good in the way they're styled. And the issue is like the character models, they don't look bad, but I think
No.
the lighting on them or how they're lit
Mm-hmm.
isn't done great. And like sometimes when they're animating, it just looks fake.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like I'm wondering, are they just like scanning the real scenes and then they drew over them or something? Or I wonder how it's done. I'm interested to see how there's like
Yeah.
a behind the scenes for this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. They might have something on Disney where they'll kind of go through how they got all of this to work. Because this
yeah,
is
because
technically their first animated series, right? That they had
at
any
least
in the
yeah,
past?
first MCU series.
First, yeah, yeah.
But I mean,
So,
I've watched a bit of the Bad Batch, which is the Star Wars animated show that's I guess somewhat sequel to the Clone Wars, which has been
hmm
going on for years.
Yeah, I heard that's
Um,
really good too.
and
But it's for kids.
I think the first episode was like a 70-minute movie, just really well, like a really
Wow.
good episode.
Uh-huh.
But then like later on, it just kind of drags on. I
Huh.
think the season just ended this week,
Yeah.
and like there's way too many episodes that was just like filler. I
Yeah.
lost interest after like episode 5, honestly. I do want to finish, but I think the animation there also is like it's a different style, but it
It was
also
a
doesn't look great.
Nickelodeon, right? It was like a Nick
I think
or,
Disney.
or
Disney.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think
I
pretty
thought it
sure.
was. I remember seeing it on Nick.
No, I would think Disney because Disney owns
Disney. Okay,
Star
Disney
Wars.
already started. Oh, okay. All right. So I do sometimes confuse that stuff. I remember seeing, and there was like a big video game out too. Um,
Back then.
and yeah, and it's like my cousins had it. Yeah, you're right. It's on Disney. It was on Cartoon Network. Excuse me.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was channel 32, not 33. But yeah, I remember seeing it. It was like a big deal. Like my little cousins all used to watch it. He had the game that he played.
No, I think Star Wars had a bunch of that kind of stuff, and
Yeah,
now
yeah,
Marvel is having
yeah.
more
Marvel.
games and
They'll
stuff.
get into it. They'll get into
They're
it. But
getting there.
all in all, I'll say that like it was an interesting enough episode. Good first start. Hoping the animation's a little bit better. Hoping they're gonna involve more people that we know. I'm excited for T'Challa and his arc.
I think
Ending was
that's next
great.
episode. I think that is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm
It
excited for
hasn't. I
that.
didn't see any. Like, there's no trailer or anything out yet, but it
Mhm.
seems like the next episode is the T'Challa as the Guardians,
Mhm.
if he was a Ravenger or something.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know if this is bad to say. I think his voice acting is pretty horrible from the trailer.
Uh-huh.
Did you see it? Did you hear it? I think
Yeah,
it's
I
horrible.
did.
It's
It's
pretty
weird.
bad.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Because I don't want to say anything bad,
Negative.
negative. Yeah, but I mean, I do agree with you, but I don't think it's his fault. I think it's just the animation looks like it doesn't match his voice.
No,
You know what I mean? Like when it's him as Black Panther, like obviously like he embodies the character, but like with the animation, it just does not match his accent and his voice. I do
no,
agree
the
with
accent
you there.
doesn't fit the
No,
animation.
no, it looks a little odd, but I think that you could say that about a lot of the other characters in here too. Like we talked about Bucky,
Yeah,
I didn't think it was Sebastian Stan that did the voice acting because it
no.
sounded so weird. Who did the acting for Stark?
I think the actual was Howard Stark in the movie. Did
Yeah,
that.
what's his name? Damien
Dominic
something?
Cooper,
Dominic Cooper. Yeah. Okay, so he did come back. All right.
and he is in the Agent Carter show. So
He is. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a. It was bad. I'm hoping it gets better. I could ignore it. I could pretend like I haven't heard, but yeah, they got to work on it a little bit. Just as long as they, honestly, I watch these shows for the animation. Like, I just started going back into watching mangas, and after Avatar, I'm just like, I need good animation. That's a big thing for me. So I hope that gets a little bit better.
Oh, that's one thing I want to mention. Korra overall
Mm-hmm.
has that yellow tone to its show because that in
Mm-hmm.
Public City, I don't know if you remember
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
season 1, she's in Republic City,
Yeah,
has the steampunk
kind
like
of
I kind of vibe
atmosphere. Yeah,
where it's like it's still like
Avatar
olden
has
times,
that a
but they
little
got
bit too.
metal machines and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
It's that one always was weird because it's like they got all this advanced technology, but they're
yeah.
still like
You can't place where they are.
it's like they don't have the internet, but they got all this cool technology, or they don't have
I
lights and
mean,
stuff.
metal ships and all that stuff was a thing back then.
Yeah, I guess. But no, that had that yellow style of like
Hmm.
an olden look, but it looked way better than this
Oh my
this
god,
does.
the animation in both those shows.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't even care if the story is bad. Like, I will sit and watch just to kind of be in that. Like, it creates such a like nice vibe for you when you're watching. Damn, we should do Avatar next. I kind of really want to rewatch it.
I mean, Avatar 2, I mean, I think they built like a foundation of strong
Strong, yeah.
backgrounds.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it just looks.
I think
Ba
like
Sing Se like is
yeah.
my favorite thing. It just when the first episode when it opens on that town,
Mhm.
it just looks so good. I'm just like, my gosh, this just I want to go there and I want it to be animated. Like it's so pretty.
I think this show will definitely pick up with
I
the
think so too.
animation in the
It's
background. So
Marvel.
it's
They got
just
enough
seeing
money and enough
the
nerds working on this. They'll figure it out.
yeah, I think so.
Sorry, what were
And
you saying?
no, I think like the I was saying the credits before this, the painted styles. It
Yeah.
reminds me of like sometimes when they have the behind the scenes of like the early movie concepts. Kind of like they show you like Guardians, like this is what they planned out as like the storyboard, and they paint like some of the images and stuff.
Hmm.
It kind of reminded me of that. So like it seems like this would have like been planned for a movie, but then this is like, all right, we'll just make it into a TV show.
That could be it. And they might have thought that okay, it's a cheaper way to get this story across, and they have more liberty, right? I mean, with
Yeah.
CGI, I guess it's really not true. You really can do anything.
Hmm.
But it's
It
cheaper
takes
to do it
time.
animated. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they probably just wanted to get the story out, and I think that's a good way to do it. I want more animated shows. I feel like it'll be fun to watch.
There's gonna be an
Just
animated Star Wars show called Visions, I think,
okay.
and it's gonna look dope.
It's gonna look dope. I just don't know too much about Star
I don't
Wars.
think you need to. I think it's just gonna look cool, honestly.
I'll just enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna have
I'll
cool
give it a
looking
go.
backgrounds.
Honestly, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. No, but I think What If is off to a okay start,
It's okay.
and I'm excited to see where this goes. And
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm wondering, do you think this will matter to the rest of the
Yes.
MCU?
Absolutely. Yes. I think it will. I think they're gonna use this. Maybe not now, but I think they're gonna bring some of these people back. Like I think Captain Carter is definitely gonna show up in something else in the actual movies.
Doctor Strange too.
You think we're guessing too many things for Doctor Strange. We're thinking everything's gonna happen to Doctor Strange. We're getting our hopes up. I
I
refuse
could
to
see
do
like
that.
Doctor Strange 2 being like a 4-part movie.
Yeah.
What like a 4-hour 4-part movie.
Like a Endgame times two,
Yeah, both one part 1 and 2 of the
all
Avengers.
smushed into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't want to guess too many things. I definitely do think Wanda's gonna be in. Is gonna obviously they've confirmed this. I think it's a big arc is gonna be Wanda and Doctor Strange, but I don't
Yeah.
think Captain Carter is gonna show up in Doctor Strange. I think she will show up somewhere down the line though.
Yeah, I would think that
Yeah.
they like her enough to give her own show.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's been back in small cameos in all of Captain
And
America's and
yeah, and a
Avengers.
lot of the
So
stuff. Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, we did
I
mention
think
we haven't seen her much. She was in Ant Man, though. She was in the
oh yeah,
beginning.
she was in the beginning
Yeah,
of Ant-Man 1.
yeah. So she's been around the movies. It's just we didn't really get to know her character as we did in depth in the first movie. You know,
Well, you learned about her in her show.
you do, yeah, you do. We just gotta watch it.
That's true. Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta remember it.
and just one last thing, one closing notes is like all the harping they did with like you can't be in the room and you're lucky to be in the room or whatever that the stuff they added. I feel like they gave more importance to Captain America. Like he had more of a role in this episode than she did almost. He was kind of like the emotional glue. He got shot in the beginning, then he gets the suit and he's the one at the end who sacrifices his life. Obviously he ends up being alive, spoiler alert, but
Yeah.
a lot of the focus was more on Captain America than her. So that's the other thing that pissed me off. I love Captain America. Well, I don't love him, but I know him more than I know her, right? So I would love probably to see more of his stuff. But they focused the episode on her, but it was kind of I don't know, it was like kind of on surface level. The story,
Yeah.
the script
Yeah.
didn't really give her that much to
I
do.
think it was too short to give her enough time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
they
it.
kind of
Like,
tried to balance it out, but I think Captain America had more, not screen time, but more like emotional impact for me as I watched through the show. And it
well,
was
I mean,
really
I
fast
think it
paced.
was a remake of the first movie
Mm-hmm.
in 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah. But they kind of skipped all that stuff, right? And then
But
they
it,
kind of
the
had
cool
the new
montage of her
stuff.
destroying the plane
Oh yeah, I was
coming
fine with
through.
I was fine with the music that was playing in the back. I was getting into it as I was working out. I was like, yeah, this is good. But I do think like I said, they kind of rah about the feminist stuff, but the script didn't reflect it. So that was that's like my closing argument with that. Like, if you're gonna talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, and I feel like they kind of failed to do that in this episode.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they got to work on that.
Yeah, but she's gonna obviously be important as we go forward because she is gonna be in the new world. So maybe they eventually put her in some movie, or maybe what if season 2? Maybe we'll see more of that.
Yeah, so there will be a season 2 of this. But
Right.
my
Right.
question is, do we see this same storyline progress, or do we go to a whole different timeline and then see a story
I'm
from
not
there?
sure. The way it ended, I thought that was gonna be like they're gonna pick certain like characters per
Mhm.
episode of from the MCU and focus solely on them.
Yeah.
But after the ending, I'm not sure. Maybe what I think is gonna happen is every episode there's gonna be a new Marvel storyline, and in the end, it's all gonna come together. That's my other guess. That the last episode is gonna be like everybody working together.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Avengers
That's my
style team
guess.
up.
Right. Kind of like the end of Endgame.
Okay. No, that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for today.
Yep.
Um, we'll be back next week, and we might review some other stuff in the meantime as well.
Yes. We're gonna try new things.
Okay. All right.
Bye guys.